Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to continue to be your daily advocate. If you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. Thank you to all of you who have been watching and following me for so long. It truly means a lot, and I'm glad that I can be this person.
SEC will not be offering amnesty to cryptocurrency companies that self-report their violations of security laws. And the first thing I thought was, ooh, the Ethereum founders must not be too comfortable with this. Our message to them is not register your product and we'll just ignore the billions you have under management in this crypto lending product or violations of securities laws. With his first public statement on crypto after being hired in July last year, the enforcement director aimed to set a precedent for companies that have persistently complained of lack of compliance standards. So this guy is going to be, he's Gary Gensler's guy, is the way it sounds to me. All right, now I wanted to show you this. This was this is really huge news from yesterday, and in highlighting it, I said, remember that time all those crypto talking heads said nobody would use XRP? Tranglo, we're thrilled to announce today that we've enabled Ripple's on-demand liquidity across all our platform or payment corridors, all. This comes after, wait, they've got a thread here. This comes after a successful pilot ODL deployment last September, which saw 250,000 transactions worth of USD 48M processed in 100 days. ODL leverages, that means XRP, using XRP. ODL leverages XRP to bridge currencies, allowing business to perform instant cross-border payments without costly pre-funding. Today, we free up working capital and grow your business, okay? Now, check this out, because there's a lot of guys that are in the know that commented. Here's one, Wrath of Kahneman, amazing, really. Tranglo enables ODL, XRP for all corridors. Tranglo connects in 25 countries, offices in 100. Of course, some corridors may only be one way, but a bit of crypto sunshine today. Particularly curious to watch what happens with their connections into Egypt and Brazil. That's not a prediction, a genuine curiosity. The easy predictions are in Southeast Asia and MENA. And then we have this from Von Crypt. Tranglo partnerships. Check this out. 1,300 banks, over 100 countries and growing. Look at this. Alipay, WeChat Pay. Recognize any of these names, folks? That is a big freaking deal. Okay, now, the other day, when the list, remember the Freedom of Information Act list came out, and I said we'd put the timeline on the Ethereum Free Pass together with video, and we had pieced all the names together is how we had done it. And so we had video and timeline. John Deaton's been showing his timeline that is not in dispute. Remember that one? Well, you've got to understand, I've spent, and a lot of us out here have spent over 3 years listening to almost like a coordinated FUD attack on Ripple, the company, and XRP, every chance they get. And it always, in my gut, it always felt like it, man, why are they all taking shots at Ripple and all of them acting like they just don't understand, and how Ripple and XRP are somehow different and all the rest of this is great. It never made any sense to me. Why weren't they coming out and attacking Ethereum? Well, now that we have our list, we have a list of the names of the people that were actually there, it's starting to make more sense, and it's going to make more and more sense as we go forward, because I am a dog with a bone, and I'm not letting go of it until we get the level playing field that we should have had in the first place, okay? Well, this is one of those FUD clips. I remember it like it was yesterday. Well, first of all, you must know that Rand Nooner has been taking shots at XRP from the beginning because he's a part of this whole situation. But he's more like the guy that was throwing the ball up like an alley-oop so that the guys could dunk it, in this case, Tushar Jain. So he asks the guy about Ripple and XRP as if he's genuinely curious, which I doubt. But so I said, for years I listened to crypto talking heads bash XRP and Ripple. I knew it in my gut it was not a coincidence. Now we can show ties. There are no coincidences. Listen to the end. We had the video of their own words. We had the timeline. Now we have the list of names. Look below. Watch to the end. This is Tushar Jain back in 2018.
Ripple Inc. provides that enterprise because Ripple Inc. is solely and predominantly responsible for marketing the Ripple products that use XRP and give the XRP token any value. Without Ripple Inc., the XRP token is worthless, absolutely worthless. Why would you need the XRP token if this corporation?
Actually, what if you had Tranglo?
I think is a successful, well-run corporation, but if that corporation did not exist, the XRP token is worthless. If the Ethereum Foundation disappears tomorrow, Ethereum still has value.
The third reason? The third part of the Howey test?
So the third part is with the expectation of profit off of the work of others.
Okay.
So that they kind of blend together.
Okay, so he's just gotten done bashing Ripple. Now the guy's going to ask him about who he works with. Listen to this.
Let's talk about your fund. You've recently announced that you've got some great investors in your fund. New capital's coming into your fund. Who are some of the LPs in your fund?
So we've been very lucky in that we get to work with some of the best investors on the planet as LPs. So we've recently announced Fred Wilson from Union Square Ventures has joined, or Union Square Ventures has joined Multicoin as an LP. Fred was gracious enough to announce this via blog post. He's one of my favorite bloggers. I've been following him for 10 years now.
Right. So Fred Wilson, who's with Union Square Ventures, right? That's Fred Wilson. He's one of the guys on the list of, this is more or less comprised of the people that were in the venture capital working group, and they were all working to get Bitcoin and Ethereum out from under securities laws, because that's what Lowell Ness said that what the job was. That's what they were trying to do. Okay, so Fred Wilson just happens to be there. And the other thing to note about Tushar Jain is he used the same exact argument that he used a very similar argument anyway to what Mike Novogratz always said. He'd always go out and just act like, I just don't understand this thing. I understand the value of Ripple, the company. It's great. But I just don't understand the value, how XRP has any value. Same thing, same argument used by Mike Novogratz, who is also on the list. And I am not saying that Fred Wilson told Tushar Jain to go out and toe this line. I'm just saying that this whole grouping of people seemed to all be toting that same line. And it was almost like a cadence, folks. Okay, let's look at this. Bank run accelerates in Moscow. Check this out. Scary stuff, folks. Scary, scary stuff. I don't like it. Now, I also don't like this. Elizabeth Warren decided that she would take the Russian thing going on and use that to go after crypto, which is what she wanted to do beforehand. She says cryptocurrencies risk undermining sanctions against Russia, allowing Putin and his cronies to evade economic pain. U.S. financial regulators need to take this threat seriously and increase their scrutiny of digital assets. So I retweeted her tweet with Rahm Emanuel's quote that we've talked about a lot on this channel. You never let a serious crisis go to waste. And what I mean by that is, it's an opportunity to do things you think you could not do before. And we all know that Elizabeth Warren, if it was up to her, she would just ban the things outright. So Elizabeth Warren tweeted that out. Susan Friedman from Ripple tweeted it and said, while we understand the concern expressed by Senator Warren, Russia actually faces some pretty big obstacles in using crypto to bypass sanctions. And she's retweeting Ashish Burla's tweet about this, but he was also on, Bank XRP tweeted this out, Ashish Burla was also on CNBC talking about this. Let's hit the refresh and you can see there's a whole segment on this, watch.
It's not as easy as it might sound for the Russian government to get around sanctions using crypto. Liquidity is one big problem. It's hard to find places to buy large amounts of Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. These markets are what they call thinly traded compared to the rest of global foreign exchange. The Bitcoin ruble pair, for example, maxes out at $200,000 per trade, even on the world's largest exchanges.
There is this narrative out there that, hey, if you shut off SWIFT, you shut off Russia, they'll just use Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies to move money. But Russia needs to move $50 billion a day. And just by comparison, the ruble to Bitcoin market is about $200,000 of liquidity at any given moment. So that is, completely unlikely that they're going to be able to use crypto to move money and put a dent in that $50 billion. Secondly, even if they were to move money, the endpoints to get money off crypto are highly regulated.
Ripple pulled some of this data for us. If you look at the Bitcoin US dollar pair, that max transaction is much higher. It's about $3.5 million. Sounds like a big number, but in the context of the billions of dollars in foreign exchange that Russia would otherwise be doing, I'm told Bitcoin really cannot compensate for Russia being locked out of SWIFT. Exchanges would be the main place to get liquidity, but sanctions likely take away that option at this point.
So what a crypto exchange does is they take in, for example, US dollars like Coinbase does. A bank is helping them facilitate that, taking in those deposits. And then once it's on the system, the exchange, it's traded for all sorts of different cryptocurrencies. But the reverse is true as well. When you want to trade out of crypto into US dollars, that again leverages a bank.
There are black market options and lesser known cryptocurrencies, but those are even less liquid. Exchanges are right now on high alert for sanctioned Russian accounts, and global exchanges are also subject to the same anti-money laundering rules as banks.
It's a miracle CNBC had a Ripple person on to give their side of the story. And Brad Garlinghouse had talked about this too. Ashish lays out the reality of crypto and blockchain's role or lack thereof to evade global sanctions, to clear up any confusion. RippleNet, while being able to do much more than just messaging a la SWIFT, abides by international law and OFAC sanctions, period, full stop. So that's big. Before I do that, I want to show you this. I saw this this morning. I hadn't talked about Kava in a while, but they said Kava is going to be one of my sponsors this month. Don't miss the Kava Network AMA with Kava Labs CEO Scott Stewart. Tune in for a chance to win one of 5 times 50 Kava prizes. Not sure what times 50 mean. Enter the giveaway. They have a giveaway that they're doing, and he's going to be on. It's on March 3rd, so you're going to want to see that. These guys are doing a lot of things with interoperability, like across chains, and so I'll talk more about that later. Let me get to this. No, wrong one. This. John Deaton. This is potentially huge exculpatory evidence if these notes are produced and corroborate Brad Garlinghouse's testimony that he left the meeting with Roisman feeling confident that ongoing sales of XRP were not sales of unregistered securities. Game over. And this is James Flan had put this out, that Brad Garlinghouse files response to SEC's opposition to Mr. Garlinghouse's motion seeking the disclosure of notes of November 9th, 2018 meeting between former SEC Commissioner Roisman and Brad Garlinghouse, the Estabrook notes. So once again, the SEC does not want you to see what actually went on. Okay, they don't want you to see it. Why not? And John Deaton thinks it's exculpatory. Jeremy Hogan also weighed in. Let's step back from the motion and think like a trial lawyer. At trial, Garlinghouse testifies about meeting with Roisman. There's absolutely no indication that Roisman or Eastbrook are disputing what was said. Otherwise, the SEC would gladly produce the notes. 2, if Roisman or Eastbrook go turncoat, they could testify that Garlinghouse lied about his testimony, and what happens then? That's right, Ripple gets to impeach the heck out of them with the Eastbrook notes, which lose DPP privilege the moment they talk about the meeting, which means the SEC has no evidence at all about the meeting, but can only argue that Garlinghouse's testimony is self-serving, and all testimony is self-serving. That's very ×2 weak sauce, by which I mean to say, whenever the judge rules, the SEC is already dead here. Interesting stuff happening, folks. And then this from Jeremy Hogan. Yes, 1 hour settlement discussion happened a couple of months ago. It didn't settle, which means that the next most likely settlement time would be at mediation, see arrow below, which will be hosted by the one and only Judge Netburn, who has seen all the documents in camera. And it says 14 days following the close of fact discovery. Somebody told me that fact discovery ended yesterday. Does that mean that they have to do settlement talks within 14 days? I'm not 100% sure, but that might be the case. Now, remember this that came out from what Empower and Jason Foster had done? that I showed you, Freedom of Information Act, these are the people, personnel from the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance with those email addresses who were in contact with Bill Hinman from May 2017 to December 2020, which is during the time frame of the Ethereum Free Pass discussions. Well, I decided to help people out. So I went person by person and added what company or law firm they were with. Okay, so now you have it all. It'll be so much easier for people to ask for interviews or to get help with research so that we can all get to the bottom of what happened. And I said, I'm sure all the people on the list will be very helpful in helping to make that happen. What do you think?
So enjoy your day, everybody. I'm always here for you. Leave any comments or questions below and be sure to subscribe. But thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you. Enjoy your day, and I always have your back. So thanks so much, everybody.